So 24-70 2.8 Canon lens, why should you get it, or why did I get it? So this lens, it's a heavy lens, but it's built like a tank, so you can use this more or less anywhere. I've only actually recently got this. I've had this since about 2016, so it's relatively new compared to the rest of the gear that I've got. And the reason I got it later on was I wasn't sure if it's worth the hassle, because what I did find was the Sigma that I had before this was doing its job. Same thing, 17, I think that was 17-70. And I'll put some details in the description, but that was an EFS mount, so that only worked on the 550D. So what I found was when I started interchanging bodies and had the full frame camera, obviously this lens works on both, so I should have just gone for this in the start, but obviously went through the learning curve. So before this I had the standard Canon kit lens 18-55, and then from that moved to the 135mm. So there are a few options available out there depending on your price range, but obviously if you're going to be doing this a long term or doing regular photos, then you want something that's going to keep up with you and not have any issues. So that's why I got this lens. Loads of good reviews online about the lens, and I've taken quite a few photos with it. I'll give you a sample photo footage reel in one of the videos separately, but for video it's doing actually quite good as well, because I kind of get the full 24mm set at its widest angle, so it's still relatively wide. But sometimes it's just keeping up appearances, because obviously this with the hood on looks a lot better than some of the standard lenses. So you can see there how well that kind of just looks. I'm not keen on the zoom. I don't like the fact that it zooms like that, moving in and out, because that looks a bit retarded. It's like kind of a barrel movement, like cheap. But what is good is when the hood is on there like that, you can't see it because it moves internally. And yeah, so there's a macro feature on the lens as well, and some of the pictures that I've taken, I have used it as the main camera. So for example, if I'm going somewhere for a quick shoot, I'll take one body on this lens and that's it. You don't need anything else. If you want to take additional lenses, you can do, but if you're weight saving and doing a long journey somewhere, then it won't let you down, because you've got both ends of the spectrum, 24mm and the 70, which is kind of mid telephoto range. So it's flattering images, good color rendition, professional lens, you can't go wrong. Not a bad word said about them. Price wise they're relatively okay, they're not too expensive. I think £600 now, maybe about that ballpark range. So it's worth buying and worth keeping. But if you are looking for a lighter lens and you're doing video work, the 18-55 is great. Only thing with that is obviously the aperture, it's a bit darker, so you need more lighting, but you tend to like that because obviously the blur, if you're in a video, it's easily misfocused, whereas this 2.8 you can kind of misfocus sometimes, so you have to have a monitor set up, which I do, which is lucky. But yeah, so that's the lens for you there, and I think I covered most bits on it. Autofocus, manual focus, you can switch between it, but that's fairly common for most lenses now. But if you're thinking about getting it, go ahead if you've got the money there. If not, there are other cheaper options you can use. So there you go.